Last hour of play in the session as we're going into game number 7. Saints, of course, having themselves a bit of an up and downs kind of day. Of course, like I was saying before, slow start to the series. Then game 3, find themselves that victory royale. Seem like they are on top of the world, but then all of a sudden, the next couple games basically after that, just kind of got a little bit difficult. Some early eliminations without getting very many eliminations. Definitely hurting their chances for the top spot, but that being said, they're still doing fantastic so far in the session, considering they're sitting 15th of over 200 teams here. How busy is this landing going to be? As of yet, it's been very quiet, but we'll have to see. Looks like it's quiet enough to warrant everybody splitting up and looting at their own sections, so nice start so far. I mean, at least if it does get messy, we do see Seer here does have that submachine gun, but other than Lasix, I don't really see very many players actually keep a submachine gun willingly, to say the least. Hey, we got that level up. Ding. I never would have guessed that there was a chest there. Tell these players know these maps inside and out. Now you're feeling a little bit more comfortable if you are series shotgun in hand. The bow was right around the corner as well. Didn't loot it just yet, but I would imagine that bow gets picked up pretty shortly. Not bad storm positioning for the Saints for this 7th game, so storm right around the corner. Not have to run very far for it. And oddly enough, Siri just straight up did not want that bow, so I'm curious if he was just saving that for somebody, or what was going on there. You can really tell the Saints are feeling comfortable with the way they're playing right here, right now. It's just taking their time getting to the slurp truck. Not rushing anything. Feel topped up on shields and good to go now. Lasix has his ride ready to go as per usual. And off we go. Looking like we're going to try and sneak in one loot run towards this NPC or towards Sweaty Sands. We'll see in a second. Looks like it is going to be the NPC pickup once again. Seems like every time you duel him, you do get a purple scar for winning, so... Especially considering the loadout that Siri had at that moment prior to the duel. Definitely needed some sort of upgrade, so that purple scar definitely going to do the trick there. And shots fired at Sweaty Sands once again. I mean, this is where the Saints went last time, and they did not find themselves in a solid position by the end of it. But we'll have to see once again. Lasix pushing on forward, leading the charge essentially here for the Saints on the aggression. Anytime there's a duel, Lasix wants to go in. Sometimes pulls off a plays. Unfortunately, though, basically equal, like 50-50 of sorts here for Lasix when he's the one going in aggressive. Sometimes he's also the first one to go down, so definitely risky in its own right. Oh, that's one way to surprise somebody. Dropping the floor while also lighting off the gas canister. Not going to be saving that for a vehicle this time by, using it as an explosive. Taking down a lot of the buildings. And there we go. One kill down. There is another one on site here alongside Siri, though. Can he find the jump necessary to make this kill stick? It's going to be a difficult one. Tried to get it, but it get built in front of right in the last bit of time. And it is going to be the takedown here, as I believe that was Junie who was able to clean things up. Sure enough, that's exactly going to be the case. Junie going to find 2. Lasix going to find 1. Saints are going to clean up that team fight and successfully take that one. Nicely done. So the aggressive push into Sweaty Sands paying off for St. Clair this time by. And it feels like Siri has kind of been scorned a little bit by these bow and arrows. Opting against using them now on, but it could also be because the rocket launcher is available for him. Doesn't want to hang on to too many of those long-range weapons. Making their way through the storm, Saints are going to find another team, some opposition right on the outskirts. Siri instantly going up high, finds the flanking position. Beautifully done. Going to take care of all the shields and take care of some of the health as well onto that player. Now just back to looking for flanks. Let Junie and Lasix finish them off. You see Lasix, as per usual, going down in deep, trying to finish the job. Does have that first aid pack as well. Was a little bit slow going through the storm. Took a lot of damage. But there's definitely a lot of healing available if he can keep himself in the game. Sure enough time to get himself that first aid kit. But this battle that Siri's trying to deal with here, it's actually not really going into his favor. Forced to pop some potions as he gets taken down pretty low. Lasix, after just popping a health pack, I don't know if he just felt his death or what, but he just got completely taken down and has been finished off. So ended up being a shotgun blast from Fine, so that makes sense. was not a fault to his death there. So, Junie and Siri versus possibly 3. Lasix going down early definitely hurts, but so does those shotgun shots from Siri. Beautifully done to take care of that one, evening up the odds here. 2 on 2. Searching for that player on hot pursuit. Good little quick shot of 50. Gets the jump, and sure enough, Elliptical going down. Siri cleaning him up. That being said, though, Junie seems to have got himself into a position where he got shotgunned 1-on-1, and it nearly takes all the Saints to do it, but 1-for-1 trades constantly, but Siri going to clean things up in the end. But that battle took so long that the Saints have to now start worrying about the storm coming in here, making things a little bit difficult here. Granted, of course, a little bit of cabbage, a little bit of meat for Siri to keep his health topped up if it gets to that point. That assault rifle has so much ammunition on it too, and literally just spray that thing for days and be a-okay still for the late game. And thankfully there for Siri, does have the sports car available to him, so he's going to take this all the way back into the safe zone. And if he can get himself to the point where he can get to a reboot van, that would be extremely clutch. But can he reboot his team in while the storm is here and get them back safely? That's going to be the question. I think he's going to make the attempt. Nobody's going to be here to contest him, so I'm going to opt to try and do it. Sure enough, it does reboot them with about full health, so they're going to be able to hop into a car and keep things going. Good call there from Siri, getting both the teammates back in the game. So after all that, they do manage to still get themselves into the safe zone for the next time by. Minute left for them to fortify up. Looks like they're going to try and take their time here. Rocket launcher in hand. Wonder if they're looking for anything cheeky here, but sure enough, there is going to be a team there. Rocket going to be the greeting call here for Siri. Shots fired once again, trying to find the opening. A little bit of poison gas making things a little bit difficult for the Saints to try and move in. Good shotgun shot here. Siri taking 70 down, trying to pepper the rest of them down with this assault rifle. Not quite going to find it just yet. Lasix and Junie both on the high ground, trying to just pepper down from above. Can they manage to find themselves a couple more eliminations? After the way this game's been going so far, they are absolutely on pace to try and score high here based off of eliminations alone, let alone their positioning. Which, given their past couple rounds, so far so good in that regard as well, with only 50 players left in the game. And sure enough, gets the jump, and that's going to be a huge one. Takes them down. Some decent healing in their loot as well, so absolutely paying off here for St. Clair. And another car shot from Siri. Holy smokes. This is the second time I've seen it this season, and it's the second time I've seen it today. Knocks him right out of the back seat of the car. Gonna walk on up, yeet him on forward in a second, I do imagine. They want to make sure they can take whatever loot possible. Take your car. You're not getting rebooted. Thank you very much. And take care of them nicely. Alright, sorry about that little tech issue on my end. We're hopping right back in the swing of things, but I was about to enter this like early, late game, late, mid game kind of state here. Right above the Slurpy Swamps, trying to get ourselves into the best possible position. Of course, Siri, the rest of the Saints, looking to take this high ground as quickly as possible. That's what they did to get the Victory Royale in game number 3. And in regards to eliminations, this has definitely been a strong one for the Saints. We see 8 of them here on the squad, so give themselves another 2, and they'll be maxed out in regards to points on eliminations, which is always a good sign. Lots of fire through the floor. Somebody from above trying to make the Saints' life a little bit difficult, but it might very well get flipped on them at this rate. Back and forth battle. Players are running, and Saints are going to be able to get the jump on them. That's going to be some decent damage done by Siri. Did see one of the Saints there with the gas canister, and that was so much value. Lasix, I believe, going to find the kill for that one. Sure enough, that's going to be the case. So yet another one on the board here for St. Clair, looking to finish a job with this one final player remaining. With the storm coming in, it's probably going to be the end for them. Because they basically shredded his shields, left him with next to no HP. Gonna have to lay extremely low and find some good openings in order not to go down. I mean, Saints got to be careful, however, though. They were kind of moving with their backs turned. They walked right into another team that actually happens to be on the move. Shots fired here, and unfortunately here for Siri, the player just goes for it. Shotgun in hand, going to out DPS a assault rifle, even of the purple variant. Clutch little drop there for Lasix, however, going to drop the Fishy over to Siri. Keep him at least topped off with half of his health. Other player getting peppered upon, did get taken down. Did that go to the Saints' credit? I'm not 100% sure at this moment. Decent damage still. Player not quite going down just yet. Jumps on in specifically to grab. What did he grab there? I'm not 100% sure. Just the resources? Fair enough. I like that he passed it off to everybody. Of course, in this situation, Siri is the one least likely to live. No shields, no healing, no nothing. Trying to get as much extra value that he can here with the remainder of his life. Gave away the majority of his ammunition as well. That was a pretty sick pickup, however. Got like 210 ammo. Just laying there in the middle of the building. Unless that was nicely dropped by Lasix. Yes, they dropped Siri some ammo, but in return, lots of materials being dropped over to Lasix. With Lasix having the most health in regards to shields and health. The best likely candidate to try and make it to the end. We have 35 players still left in this lobby. We are in game number 7, so we still, of course, have 3 more to go, or a half hour's worth of matches still to go here, as we see Saints take care of their 10th elimination. They're all maxed out, and I was just saying that Lasix was probably going to be the hope for the Saints to get to the late game. He just got completely dropped. The shotgun was not going into his favor, so unfortunately there for Lasix and for St. Clair, they instantly have their plans completely flipped. And to be honest, a lot of those resources that Saints had might have very well gone into the pocket of an opponent now. Of course, like Siri had himself like 400 brick that he had dropped over to, I would assume it was to Lasix. So for that to go down is definitely going to be brutal come possible late game engagements. They're going to try with what they have anyway. However, Junie is going to go down. Siri has the flank. He does get a knockdown, but can he manage to find himself one more? The Storm is on the move, and he has to make a move. That is going to be one kill going into the favor of the Saints. But with it getting super small, and he's basically just getting pinched in over and over again, he's going to go out guns blazing. He's going point blank here with a player does not quite find a finishing blow. Fishy going to keep him healthy for at least a moment. Has to try and plow through. Can he keep himself safe on the move? Not versus 2, I don't think. But that being said, somebody took one of the players down. Siri gets the jump on another. How is he finding these eliminations? How is he keeping himself alive? He got himself from what probably could have been a 15th place position to getting themselves into the top 10, nearly the top 5. So beautifully done there from Siri to clutch it out for those last couple of last couple eliminations, those last couple pushes to keep himself in the game. And solid job for St. Clair overall, of course, making it as far as they have. Unfortunate there that Lasix did get shotgunned down. One wrong turn, one wrong move could easily delete you with how quickly a shotgun blast headshot can just do all of your shield and then some in such a quick moment. Now with that, however, we're going to be hopping into game number 8 in just a moment. In regards to points, Saints are sitting at 268, which if I take a look at our standings here on the Fortnite tracker, website says that that would put us at about 12th. So solid job so far. Still got a couple rounds to go. Whether it be 3 more rounds or a half hour, one way or another, this is ending at 11. So we will get back into the action very shortly. Time to go guns blazing. success. Challenge complete. I scarfed down my pizza real quick before the Saints even touched the slurp truck. So anyway, hopping into game number 8. Still have ourselves about a half hour of action left to go. This is probably going to be one of the few times so far this season where we're going to see the Saints actually have to decide in regards to getting aggressive, just looking for some eliminations, or are they going to have to maybe forfeit one of their rounds, so to speak? Because, of course, you're allowed a maximum of 10 rounds. You want to get as much value as you can for them, but a lot of these rounds can take up to like 20 to 30 minutes, so like if Saints are going for the Victory Royale here in this game, it very well could probably take to 11, but we'll have to see how this ends up going down. With the way things had landed, I would assume that they're going pretty standard, but we'll have to see moving forward, of course. Oh, that works. Just finding a blue shotgun out in the middle of nowhere. We'll take that, absolutely. Storm location is not exactly in the best spot here for our St. Clair squad, as they're going to have to make a pretty far trek to move back into the safe zone. Of course, there's still plenty of time to move off of this first storm location. These are some eager doggos, but forget the doggos. We actually have a player up ahead in the truck, team ready to go. Siri's going to get jumped on to start things off. Going to take the high ground at least. Seems like at least either this team is being conservative with their building or Siri can just outbuild them. We'll have to see as we hop on into the action once again. Seems like it's one of the teams that are actually quested out with a bounty onto Siri's head. It would be absolutely huge for them if they could take Siri down in this case. And both these teams, of course, have to take into consideration the storm as it is moving in on their location. They cannot sit here and fight forever. Player on the low ground. That's not a player, that's a doggo. One more thing to worry about as these games are going on. Of course, those doggos basically tickle, but I mean, if you don't pay attention to it, it very well could add up with some decent damage over time. Lasix is here up high and safe, but as we see up in the top right, purple wave coming through. Here comes the storm. Players need to move. Otherwise, they will be taking some damage over time. Granted, off the start, it is very minimal. But we do see through the smoke screen that is this storm. The Saints are trying to hunt that one player down. This fight is not even necessarily going in the Saints' favor either. A bit of a rough engagement for them. I mean, they know where the player is, but they cannot finish the job in the slightest. Some good shots coming out here. Syria making some good contacts, but still nobody available just yet. Gonna pop a potion, but of course remember, as the storm keeps on ticking, that storm does not care about your health, so sure enough, you're going to have to get some meat. There's a lot of resources being spent to try and just take care of this one player. I'm not sure if the Saints are kind of getting baited here. This could be a case where one player sits back and just keeps defending while everybody else is trying to make a run for it, and that very well might be the case. The other teammates seem to be trying to make a move out of the storm without it, because right now, the storm has stopped in its location, and in fact, will keep going further in the next 2 minutes. Looks like we're just going to end up fighting through the storm for this round, it seems, as of this moment anyway. Siri trying to make a move on this player, not going to find him. Lasix down to next to nothing. No shields, like 10% of his health. Even if they win the fight, can they make it back to the safe zone? I'm not sure. As of right now, anyway, they are going to be able to out-heal the damage with that fireplace, but it's not going to be for long. The other team found a car too, and it's just going to absolutely leave Saints in the dust. Saints strategically might have been outdone here in this one. Lasix and Junie are going to be able to get themselves into a car, but can they make it? There's still so much distance left to go. Siri is going to drop. Lasix is going to drop. It's going to be all up to Junie to try and make this happen, unless they just want to call it quits and call it a new round. Actually opting for the revive here. Hell panic is kind of ensuing. They're just going to try and leapfrog themselves maybe to victory? Definitely a last-ditch effort. Nope, it looks like they're all going to take it down here. It's too far to go. So sure enough, by going for that fight and not being able to hop into a vehicle or anything, Saints are going to go down early. That did not go to plan in the slightest there for St. Clair. They get basically nothing off of that round, which is extremely brutal. Going to be sitting there now with 286 points, which if I refresh... Let's take a look. Still has them in the tied for the top 15, so they're right there. However, they can't really afford another round like that one. If they're gonna go for a fight, they need to find some eliminations, obviously, right? But otherwise, try and play for the late game. It felt like they kind of searched for an engagement. They found it, and it just did not go in their favor in the slightest. So hopefully, for game number 9, we'll get to see them fight back here. I'm going to throw into a break, of course, while we are loading in. Quick little pizza time for me as we get rejuvenated for the finale, or at least the last 2 games, possibly, here of the PlayVS Fortnite Trios for week number 5.